Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I kind of want to talk about what it's like to be a psychology major. And I wanted to do this because, first of all, psychology is one of the most popular majors in college. I think psychology and business are the top two, business being the first one. So there's a lot of people out there who are probably wondering what to expect if they're thinking about majoring in psychology or minoring in it or something like that. So I'm here to tell you a little bit about my own experience in the field of psychology and what I want to do and what you can do and what to expect. So I am going into my junior year of college, so I've really only had 2 years in an undergraduate psychology program. But I think in those 2 years I've learned a lot about psychology. So first of all, like I said, it's pretty much the second most popular major in college. So that means that basically you're gonna have a lot of competition. If you're someone who doesn't work really hard and everything, then I don't think you're gonna do that well in psychology because you're gonna be thrown back a lot and there's gonna be a lot of people ahead of you. If you're in psychology, I think what you want to do is be at the top of the group because it doesn't matter how many people are behind you, it only matters how many people are ahead of you in your field. And you want to be in that top so that people notice you and you don't just become no one in this whole sea of psychology majors. So make sure you know what about psychology you like and what can make you stand out. Now, I go to Colorado State University, and in their undergraduate psychology program, they have a few different concentrations. Now, with a general concentration, which basically means no concentration, I don't think there's a whole lot you can do. That psychology is such a broad field that you can't really not have a concentration. So if you just do general, then you're not really focusing on anything, and that doesn't show what you're passionate about and what you really want to do in psychology. So I really highly recommend that you guys, if you're going to psychology, pick some kind of concentration or path within that field. At my school, we have the clinical and counseling concentration, as well as we've recently added an addictions counseling concentration. We also have IO Psych, which is industrial and organizational, so working with businesses and figuring out how people are in the workplace and how to increase productivity and that kind of stuff. And then there's also mind, brain, and behavior psychology, which is my personal concentration. And so in that concentration, you work more with, neuroscience and cognitive psych, so how the brain works and how that dictates your behavior and all of that kind of stuff. Which kind of leads me to another thing about being a psych major. When you tell people you're majoring in psychology, they're gonna just assume that you want to become a clinical psychologist. And a lot of us don't. I find that stuff interesting, and that's why I chose psychology over neuroscience, because I want to learn the social aspects of people and different disorders so that I can connect all that stuff to the cognitive neuroscience side that I want to do. Also, I think a lot of psych majors maybe don't realize that there's not a whole lot that you can do with just a bachelor's degree in psychology. I think you learn a lot of useful skills through those 4 years of undergrad, but that only really gives you a good enough diploma to get an entry-level position somewhere. If you want to go beyond, and especially if you want to become a clinical psychologist or a psychiatrist or something like that, you have to go to grad school and get at least a master's or PhD. In my mind, brain, and behavior psychology class last semester, our professors asked the class, they said, "How many of you are planning to go to graduate school?" And every single one of us, except for one person in the class, raised our hands. So that's just something to expect. As a psychology major, you should be expecting to go to graduate school and spend a lot more years in school so that you can get the degree that you want to do the job. Something else you should expect if you're a psych major is that you'll get probably a lot of backlash for it. A lot of the times when I tell people I'm majoring in psychology, they think one, that's not a science, which is completely not true. Psychology is totally a science. It uses the scientific methods. We perform experiments. We use statistics and neuroscience and gosh, it bugs me so much when people say psychology is not a science. Sure, it's a social science, but that doesn't mean that it's not a science. I've also gotten a lot of people telling me that I'm not gonna get a job. Oh, you're a psych major? Why don't you do something useful with your life? Psychology is what I enjoy, and obviously it's what a lot of people enjoy because it's so popular. But if you like it, then do it. There's so many different paths you can take with psychology. It's so broad, like I've said before. You can go into business or social work or research or counseling or whatever. You gain so many useful skills through it. I'm also going to bring up to you guys some of the classes that you should be expecting to take as a psych major. So here I have my personal checklist for my mind, brain, and behavior concentration as a psych major. And basically with that concentration, it just adds some more stats classes, more math, and some more upper division science classes and specific lecture lab pairings that you have to take and stuff like that. But any psychology major has to take like these general courses. They're just Psych 100, which is general psychology, psychology of the individual, research methods, mind, brain, and behavior, the history of psychology, stuff like that. We also have to take a personal computing course so that we know how to work with computers and use Excel and stuff like that to be able to analyze data and just know how to use computers, really. Also have to take like public speaking and stuff like that, as well as a philosophy course, because philosophy really helps you to just think critically and look at other perspectives and stuff like that. You will also probably have to take some kind of physiology course. I know we do at my university, so learning all about you know, how all of the systems in the body work. You'll also learn a lot about the nervous system and neurons and how they fire and all of that kind of stuff, which is really important to psychology. And that's not just important in my concentration about the brain and stuff, it's also so important to know all of that when you know, if you want to become a psychiatrist or something and you want to prescribe drugs to people, you have to know what kind of effect those drugs have on the brain and how that affects the person's behavior. You will also have to take at least 1 or 2 or 3 statistics courses. And I know a lot of psychology majors really shy away from statistics, they don't like it, but you know, use that statistics background to better yourself in psychology and to separate yourself from all the other psychology majors. So I'm personally trying to gain a really strong background in statistics so that it can set me apart from others, and I want to go into research, and I know that it'll be really important to know that. So I've already taken 1 statistics course, and next semester I'll be taking 2 more, one of which uses R, which is a programming language but is used a lot in the whole field of statistics. So I'm kind of teaching myself R this summer, and I'm teaching myself it specifically from a book that's for psychology majors. So that's really helpful because it really applies it to what you're doing and what you're interested in. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope it helped some of you guys. I know there's a lot of people out there who are probably thinking about psychology as a major but aren't really sure about it. I just want to say that I think it is a really good major and there's so many different things you can do with it. You just have to be really persistent and hardworking and know what you want to do in it, know what concentration to get, and just work hard towards that so that you can be at the top. If you guys have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!